Hi. Welcome to the Hope Show. I was like waiting for the song to be over because I love that song. And so I was like dancing behind the scenes and I thought we should probably start. But I love Katy Perry. I'm 45 years old and I love Katy Perry and I'm not going to apologize for that song. I see so many people I know and a few people that I don't. Hi, Bonnie, Shantae, Christopher, Tommy, Carla, Davia, Kathy. Hi, Heather. Hi, Hope, Jeannie. Hi, Rod. What's happening? Hey, Robert. Welcome to the Hope Show. Glad you guys can make it. In that song, she was saying, I'm thankful. And then she said, scratch that, baby, I'm grateful. I love that line. I don't know if you know the difference between thankful and grateful, but there is a little bit of a difference. Thankful is probably an automatic response to receiving something. I'm thankful, but grateful is more of a state, it's more than a feeling. It's like action. You're so grateful. You want to do something. You want the person to feel something about what they have done for you. I think that's kind of what hope is laced in. And sometimes we might forget to include gratefulness into our day. And then we can get sidetracked with so many different things that lead us to a hopeless place of desperation because at the end we have nothing to look forward to, or maybe our thankfulness is running dry and we need an action to actually help us to have hope, which is gratefulness. So I love that song. It's great to see you guys. Can we just take a deep breath? That's the first thing I want to do. I don't know what happened before you got on, and I don't know what's going to happen after, but for an hour, I just want to take a deep breath and just be here and breathe out everything that's negative and that's not going to help us for this hour, and just tune into a safe place of, I don't want to say imagination, because I believe hope is something that I want to see happen, but just as a great safe place. So we take a deep breath. It feels really good. It really feels good. I don't know if some of us are holding our breath, waiting to the election, waiting until things change, waiting until we get jobs back, waiting, and we're so tense that we need to breathe that out. Until that happens, we have an opportunity for hope right now. I certainly believe that. So thank you for being here. Welcome to the Hope Show. What is hope? Hope is to expect with confidence. And it's having trust that good things will come. But in my life, I realized that some hope fails when it depends on who I'm trusting the hope for. I can have hope, I can reach high, I can be optimistic, but if I'm going to base hope on the government, on my family members, on my friends, on my job, on my career, on my significance, most times I get defeated and I get discouraged. But for me, I know most of you guys know that I'm a man of faith. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe that's my truth. This is not a religious show, but my truth is I have to put my hope on something bigger than myself to take care of what I feel is a disaster, a catastrophe, something that's hopeless. And I found earlier, maybe in April, March, with this pandemic, that I was losing hope. I was drowning because I was trying to fix problems. I was trying to troubleshoot. I was trying to, cross my fingers that this would happen, this would work, I would receive this would come to an end, and nothing was working, and I was spiraling out of control. And then I remember one day God reminded me, he said, I'm here. And why don't you plug back into me and maybe, avoid the habit of regurgitating negativity. We have to see the news, we have to read, we have to know about the numbers and COVID. But I was so busy reposting that negative atmosphere was toxic to me. It was like poison. And I couldn't see hope. And I started to lose myself because that's just who I am. We're never saying that you're always going to be optimum hope, optimum smiles. That song makes me want to dance when I hear it. We know there's challenging times. I know, and I don't know for a lot of you, you might be in the middle of still challenging times, aside from COVID, aside from not having a job, aside from the political things that are going on in this world, you might be going through a lot. And so I encourage you to unplug from the negative things that don't serve you, and it could be people. it could be close people that you might have to unplug for a moment. We all understand the word block. I've had to block some people, but and replug into something hopeful, something that makes you look up. So,
question for us.
And the question for us.
Hold on.
I have my producer here.
I have my producer here.
I'm swapping you out.
What?
You're lagging.
Sorry about that. Thank you, producer, my wife, Leilani. We don't have a big budget yet, so we're still making it work.
Can you see you?
Hold on. I can see myself. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Am I lagging and behind?
It's just your video is a little pixelated and slow, but your vocals are clear.
Okay. Did it get better by switching computers or no, Heather?
Not really.
Not really.
Wouldn't say better, no.
Okay.
It's kind of the same.
All right. Well, I hope it gets better. She's going to continue to work on her end, and I'll keep talking. I was going to say, you know, when you're hopeful, you hope for an amazing outcome, something incredible to change, something good to happen. But the question really is, what happens if it does not happen? All the hopes, everything that you want to happen, what happens then? I was reading, it says, our ability to recover is only as strong as where we put our hope. I really believe that. So we need to recover as a nation. We need to recover as people. We have this COVID opportunity that's in some ways debilitating, but in some ways freeing us to explore who we are, look in the mirror. But we want to recover, and our ability to recover is kind of dependent on hope. So I hope that we can reclaim that today. Here's a scripture from the Bible that I was reading about hope and who to put it into. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. And I saw on this version that it says, I usually know the scripture saying, but those who wait on the Lord. But this was saying, those who hope in the Lord. Wait and hope kind of go hand in hand. We are waiting for things to change. We are hoping. But it says, those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength, which we all need. They will soar like eagles. Can you believe that we could be in this time and still be soaring and still have hope and still have strength and still be fast and still running? They will not grow weary and they will walk and not faint. So that is something that I cling to when I'm failing, when I'm flailing. Let me read you one more thing, and then we're going to get into our discussion. Again, feel free if you don't want to speak, if you just want to listen, it's totally fine. The reason why I created the show was to get with an intimate group of people who maybe did not know each other, and like, let's talk about hope. So when we left here, maybe that could be contagious in your life and in who you're dealing with. Because right, the first thing that we might be faced with, even after this whole hope breathing and great hour, is somebody bringing negativity. Somebody comes to remind you of what's going on. Somebody comes to remind you of the stats. Somebody just comes to remind you they're not wearing their mask. This is what the president said. This. So we have a job to kind of like, wow, how do we receive that? And then what are we giving back to that person or people that are giving us that information? And we have a choice to maybe decide to give them some hope. The very least you can do in your life is figure out what you hope for. And the most you can do is live inside that hope, not admire it from a distance, but live right in it under its roof. That's Barbara Kingsolver. I love that. Don't make hope in the distance. Get inside of it, how uncomfortable it might be. It takes courage to have hope. Get under it, lay under its roof, and dream and hope and expect. And I believe things are going to change. What I do every morning to get me going, because sometimes we wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't know if it's right or left for you, but I don't know. To get me going, I use a gratitude journal. And it's kind of the first thing I try to do in the morning is I write down 10 things that I'm grateful for. I have a hard time like talking to God going, I need this, 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 do this, before I kind of start with gratitude. I end up getting there and telling him all the list of things I need and I want, but I think the gratitude shifts me into a positive direction and kind of karate chops some of the negativity. So A few things I wrote. I'm grateful for good friends. I wrote a new song yesterday. I'm grateful for Michelle Obama and her speech. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my $28.24 residual check I got. I'm thankful for my piano. I mean, they could be big things, they can be small things, but just getting your mind, because sometimes we go, I don't have anything to be thankful for. I have nothing to be grateful for. What are you talking, Terron? We have this, we have this, we have that. It can be the small thing, hearing the birds sing, the sun coming through the window, whatever that is, just chemically shifts us a little bit to hope. So would you guys join me? Anybody want to talk about something that they're grateful for? And let's just say today, just something that you're grateful for. You can unmute yourself and share.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm grateful for Heather Masters being on the show. And Robert and you, because you're my good friends.
Love you guys. You guys are my posse. That's a couple things to be grateful for. Heather, Robert, and myself. Love you, Tommy. Anybody else
Love
have
you,
something
Tommy.
that they're grateful for?
Yeah,
I'm-
I just go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll wait on you. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, there is a slight.
Okay, cool.
Keep talking. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I had a hard day. Oh my goodness, I had a hard day today. Things were just coming at me from left to right, and people were asking me to do all kind of things all day long, and I was just completely stressed. And I am so thankful for my dog today because the dog came to me today and just licked on me, didn't want anything from me, just wanted love. So I just love my doggy. So I'm grateful for that today because it kind of calmed me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. We all need a companion friend. What's your dog's name?
Karma.
Karma. All right, Karma. Anybody else? Something that you're thankful for?
Along the similar lines of Speak Karma, I'm always grateful for, I too have faith, as Terron knows, and so I'm always thankful for my God. But for the things that are tangible for me here on earth, I am thankful for a man who's actually on this call, who's my husband, because he, regardless of the days we have, like your dog, Karma, not that everything is rosy and beautiful 24/7, but I know that when I need lifted up, and even when I don't, he does. He will be there for me and help in that. And so when we're dealing with so much of unemployment and kids start school tomorrow and all of these things that are going on that's in our brain today, we had a moment to just be a family, and grateful for even just that time to say and breathe, and just be together. And we were just in front of each other. And so I'm grateful for that, because that gives me peace. You know, that peace that helps my peace resurface. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I got to follow that, Terron. I got to follow up.
You got to.
I need a rebuttal.
This is my husband.
I need a rebuttal. No, along with that, I'm so grateful for my wife. But bigger than that, and rooted in that, and I think in everything you're talking about, Terron, I'm grateful that I have a purpose. And my purpose is so clear and so strong every day that it overrides everything else. Like I know why I need to wake up. I know what I need to do. I'm not working right now because I'm an actor and I make my money through theme parks, and all three of my jobs have to do with meeting with people. But I know what I need to do. And I know when that foundation falls off, I don't have that foundation, everything else falls apart.
Right.
So when I have that purpose and it's clear, and when I'm connected with that hope, like you're talking about, I'm connected with the love, with the word behind me, and I'm looking out for people and my fellow man every single day, and not getting upset at all the ridiculous things going on in the world. And we've talked about this many times, Terron. Then I'm at my best. Then I'm doing everything that I can do. And if I can say that at the end of the day, and I fall short, no one's perfect. You know, he was here and he's gone now, but he's still with us, you know, in our Savior. But people they fall short, you know, and I can't condemn anybody and I can't push anybody down, but I know what my purpose is. So I'm thankful for that purpose.
Awesome, Robert. Anybody else? I just want to key on to Robert was saying something about the clarity he has of knowing he has a purpose helps him have more peace. And I think sometimes we just don't have clarity. You know, I think that word is so special. Like, it's not clear. We can't see, you know? And so that might be an indicator, my friends, like if you just don't know what's going on, if you just don't feel well and it feels icky, and maybe it's clarity. Maybe you gotta like have to reprioritize things. And maybe you're just a little bit out of whack. It doesn't mean that those negative feelings have to stay, but I do think that they could be a signal to us to go, hey, something's not right. Let me change things. I don't have clarity. I don't know what my purpose is today. I've lost something. So I love that, Robert. I think that's a good thing because we don't always have it. We always need to find it, but maybe that's an indicator, you know, and when we're trying to be grateful and we can't find anything, it could be a sense of clutter that has obstructed our way. So anybody else grateful? I mean, we're all grateful, but want to share anything? And I wanted to find out, Demia, where you're from.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, love that. I know Heather and Robert, they're on the OC, Orange County side. I know Thomasina is in the LA side. I know my friend Kathy's on the Chicago side. So if you do speak, let me know where you're from. So North Carolina, good.
So Chicago.
Chicago.
Yep. I'm grateful for my garden. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, great. I started a garden at the beginning of the pandemic and had never done it before. Vegetables, herbs. It kind of felt very new to me, like came through my heritage, came through my grandparents, came through my parents. And it has been this miracle, truly. I mean, when we get into God's green earth and into Mother Nature and put our hands in the earth, it's such a connection to creation and to my God and to my faith and to clearly you know, the beginnings and the roots, and it feels I feel connected, I feel rooted, I feel a foundation. I find myself floundering. I walk outside. I practice yoga, and I've always practiced, you know, getting rooted right in your practice. And that was kind of a metaphor, but then I also understood what it meant actually physically. But now I had a whole nother level of promise of planting a seed and seeing what comes from that. Is like, it's been really kind of an overwhelming display of gratitude, a display of hope. I mean, hope doesn't become any clearer to me, at least sometimes anyways, throughout the last several months, when I see what Mother Nature has provided when we take care of it. And in this case, in my little backyard, you know, 40 cucumbers are ready, and 20, I've been counting them with the grandchildren. I mean, that's also another part of the gratitude, is the grandkids come over and are just as invested in it I am. So that has been something I've been incredibly grateful for, not only today, but throughout the last several months.
I love that, Kathy, because I think, like, you know, we know that God's pretty invisible. So how do we trust in something that's invisible, that we really can't see, you know? And when you talk about nature, I mean, when I go for a run or I'm outside, the evidence is stunning everywhere. And it's just a reminder sometimes that I might not be able to see all of my dreams come true or everything I'm hoping for come to pass right now. But the sun is shining, the trees, you know, the beautiful flowers, there's evidence of God there. And you know, the trees, they're just being, we're the humans that have to struggle and strive and try to get attention, and the birds, they just fly, you know? So sometimes it's just those small things. That's all I'm getting us just to see in gratitude. It's just those small things. And I think nature is a beautiful reminder of an evidence, something that we can see, even the rain, to see that there's movement, there's a presence, there's the wind, and there's beauty in all of it. So I love that, Kathy, that you're able to do that. How hot is it in Chicago?
It hasn't been that bad. We only had about maybe 10 days in the 90s. And today it's one of those, I'm looking outside, crystal clear blue sky, and about 78. It was gorgeous, an absolutely gorgeous day. But like you say, even rainy days, I take great appreciation and great gratitude for the rain. I mean, I look forward to the rain. And again, not only from all of the parts of nature, but my garden needs it. And I can water it with the, hose, and that's all great. But I am so grateful for the rain when it comes, because it washes down in a different way. Again, metaphorically, as well as just from a nature, God-given gift in the rain.
Yeah, and metaphorically, we need rain, and physically we need rain. And I don't know if you guys are going through some kind of growing spurts in the COVID, and it's uncomfortable sometimes to be with yourself, to discover things about yourself that need to be worked on, that need a little bit of rain. But I said last week, we debuted the show last week, and I'm a firm believer that for us to become what we want to become, for things to change, sometimes we have to change into what we want to become before we get there. If that makes sense, there could be some work. We know in America, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, just relationally, in the community, nations and nations of kindness and people loving each other. There's a lot of work to be done before we snap our fingers and say, let's go where there's no racism, there's no problems. There's some, and I think this time off is giving us a little bit of permission to have some of that rain. And that can be something that we could be hopeful for, that we have this time to readjust, to reset, to realign, to pivot. So not only are we hoping for something better, when we get there, we can actually step into that a little bit more successfully. So I don't know what the challenges might be for each and every one of you. I've been through many, many challenges. Just even last week, I was just really discouraged, really, really discouraged. And I had to pinpoint what it was. I was blaming this and blaming that and blaming that. And once I could pinpoint what it was with that clarity, Robert, I realized that it was me. It wasn't necessarily the circumstance or the thing that I was making it. It was me. And nothing was going to change unless I had to make a decision if I was going to change. And when I made that shift, hope opened up bigger and brighter for me when it was just a smaller window before. So anybody else? I don't want to shortchange anybody else. Gratitude.
I'd like to go.
Awesome. Shantae, is that how you say it?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, Shantae, you got it.
Where are you from?
You got it. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Love Dallas. It's hot in Dallas, right?
Yes, it is.
Is it raining? No,
Very
no rain?
much so.
Okay. What are you grateful for?
Yeah. I am grateful for finding my voice during this pandemic. So if anybody that knows me knows that I'm a very quiet, very meek, very humble person. And that really came to when my job furloughed everyone. And so next thing you know, sitting at home, nothing really to do. But literally a month prior to getting furloughed, I started a podcast, which is something that I'd always wanted to do, but never had the spirit, the courage to say I have a voice that's worth hearing, and that I have anything great to say. And so I kind of prayed about it and asked God to kind of put it on my heart to embark upon this journey to really speak out and have something, wonderful to say. And so I entitled the show Speak Your Soul, which is kind of my adaptation to be able to open up to everyone, to be vulnerable, to literally speak about things that are, you know, concerning me, that bother me, but most of all, just to be a beacon to someone else that's going through the same things that I'm going through, which at the beginning, to be honest with, was super scary because, like I said, you don't know how you're going to be received. You don't know if you're going to reach anyone. You don't know if anybody's really going to be paying attention. But that started in March. And every week I just kept praying, asking God, you know, to keep me on this journey. Do not let me get afraid. Do not let me back down. Give me the courage to keep looking at this every week, because eventually, if I can be a help to at least one person that hears my message, that hear what I have to say, then I feel like I have accomplished a great thing. So here I am. It's it's August. I'm still doing the show. It's bigger than ever now, and I'm grateful because had I not had the job not furloughed me and said, you know what, you know, take this time, you know, while this thing is going on, because I was originally in Houston. In Houston, the numbers for COVID were absolutely outrageous at one point. And so I used that time to connect with God and say, maybe this is something that I want to, maybe this is my purpose. Maybe this is what I was intended to do with this time. You know, maybe this is my, you know, my calling. So I'm really grateful during this time that I was, you know, I listened to God, I prayed about it, and I found the courage to have my voice and to let it be heard and to speak up. So that's what I am grateful for during this pandemic.
Yeah, that's awesome, Shantae. I love the fact that you did something that was scary, and then you can see how you can reap the benefits of that after you kind of do it. I learned to play the piano. I put quotes on it. I'm not John Legend, but I learned over this pandemic to kind of do some chords. I've been wanting to do that for so many years, ever since I was young. I tried several times. I quit because I wasn't good. I quit because it took so long to hear it sound right. I quit because I was embarrassed of how I would look. And then one day it was pandemic time and COVID time, and God was like, "What you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And I have a piano here, and I just started to find the chords. And you guys, I can play songs. I've written about 7 songs on the piano. I'm not amazing, but the fact that it's not as hard or scary as I thought it was, it's almost embarrassing. And now that I'm reaping the fruit of just having a great time, not with high expectations of what others people think, but the fact that I just wanted to do something, I know how that feels. So I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about courage, because we're talking about hope, but it takes courage to hope, because it's a small majority, guys, that are having conversations like we are right now. Most people right now are scrolling, trying to find a fight to get out of, or trying to repost something bad that's happening. It doesn't make us special. I'm just saying it's just the small minority of people, or maybe I'm generalizing. A lot of people, it takes courage to be the only one at the party saying, "Hey guys, things might be okay," you know? And so I respect that you guys even would be here today to take that, you know, a little step, a little breath of courage to have hope for yourself and for others. It really is contagious. I wanted to ask my friend Kathy. She actually has a story about hope. And if you will indulge her, Kathy, my friend from Chicago, can you tell us a little bit about your hope story? I know a lot of it, and it's really riveting. And sometimes we always focus on ourselves, and it's never to say Kathy's story is better or worse, or her struggle. You can't equal a struggle. You can't equal pain. Pain hits us all. But sometimes it's good to hear from someone else, to know, hey, I'm not alone. I thought I was the only one who had to go through something. And so if Kathy would indulge us with her story of hope, and basically telling us, you know, the story and how did she get through it, I think you guys will find some courage there. So Kathy?
Thanks, Terron. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in May of 2013, after I had just lost my mom, who lived in Florida, who was bedridden. And it came as quite a shock to me and to my medical team, because I was that girl, the yoga girl, eating well, exercising, you know, pretty healthy lifestyle, great faith in God, great surroundings, family, friends, and so on. And, you know, why me, right? And it's like, why not me? I had 10 years earlier done the 60-mile breast cancer walk because so many of my friends had breast cancer, and my mother-in-law, who I never met, had died of breast cancer. And so I knew that in my husband's lineage of daughters and nieces, that there was a chance that they'd get breast cancer. So fast forward to 2013, I'm diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, and I decide to have a mastectomy, and which a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, that's so radical. And I had done once diagnosed with, and I had an amazing OB-GYN. She helped me build my medical team. That was one of the biggest, most important first steps for me. I was like, okay, here it is. What am I going to do with this? And I either, you know, and I did have my pity me moment, and then I came out of it pretty quickly and said, okay, I can do that, or I can build a team of medical people, and continue to build my friends and my family around me, my faith around me, and just go at this. Let's do it. Let's get through this. I've had too many different journeys in my life that this was not going to get me. There's no way. And though that may have been a little bit naive, I was okay with that, hindsight. But I built this great medical team, and it was, you know, when's a good time, right? So my daughter was getting married in July, and I said to my husband, we can't tell anybody, because there was no way I would allow what I had just been diagnosed with to overshadow her day. And though it took a lot of prayer and very thoughtful conversations with my husband, and I did tell my son, I did tell one of my best friends, so I had somewhat of a support system, minimally, but I didn't tell my dad, I didn't tell the rest of the family. Anyways, so we went through the wedding. We'll ask the doctors, the team first, if it was okay, I could wait until August for the surgery. And they said, yeah, it's not like tomorrow. So go through the wedding. Wedding was gorgeous. Get to August, shortly after the wedding, when my kids were on their honeymoon, I told the rest of the family. Our kids came back on honeymoon. I told them. I had my surgery in August, and went through 5-6 years of immunotherapy and chemotherapy, and several major hiccups along the way, several setbacks along the way, back in the hospital, possible other cancers, just a lot of things. And my hope was always, I will find myself, I sat in hope and gratitude almost every morning and every night. Those are my that was my morning prayer and my night prayer. And like you, Terron, I journaled both in the morning and in the evening. And I would remind myself of what I was hopeful for and what I was grateful for. And those, to me, those were both actionable. Mm-hmm. And so I thought to myself, if I can help one person, that was the reason why I did the breast cancer walk to begin with. If I can help one person, and this is what you said, Shante, one person, I don't have to help 3,000, 10,000. If I can help one person, if I can save one person's life because I've held on to my hope and I've put through and gotten to the other side, then I feel like I've done my job as a human here on this planet. So also looking into the face of my children, and to the other side, we didn't have grandchildren yet, in the face of my husband. And then this was an interesting thing, Terron, that I thought about afterwards. I didn't say this to you. Looking at the face of my father, and the idea of a father losing a child, mm-hmm. I was like, no, not a mom, if I can be at all, if there's any way I can help this from happening, I'm not gonna let this happen. My child needs his mother, my husband needs his wife, my father needs his daughter, and I need me. I've been given a gift of life, and I will cherish this and work with it and for it as long as I'm here on earth, and I won't take it for granted. So all of those things allowed me to keep my hope alive, to be grateful for the day, to be grateful when my feet hit the ground in the morning. It was a really powerful 6 years. And as I look back on it, I still am struggling with some of it. There's still things, there's still residual left from the cancer. But I am cancer free, and I've been wearing my hope necklace from the day I was diagnosed. I bought myself the hope necklace, haven't taken it off. And I believe in this, and I believe in the gratitude that's wrapped around it. And I know that my faith in God has found me in my darkest moments and has lifted me out of them as well. But it's never left my side. My faith has never left me. I never felt like God abandoned me. I just felt like this is part of life. Things happen. It's not because anybody did this or didn't do this, or why me? Why not me? Why not me? Since then, I've had both plastic surgeons, my oncologist, my OB-GYN have asked anonymously if people could reach out to me and ask me to share my journey with them. There it is. That was it. The first time that girl called me and said, I am at the bottom of my barrel. I don't know what to do. And by the end of our phone conversation, I just lost it. I was like, well, there it is. That's clear. That's the purpose. Mm-hmm. So, and there's been multitude of opportunities since then that have allowed me to share my story and allowed me just to give a little bit of hope to somebody else. And it's a purpose it's just so clear to me that that's one of the reasons why I'm here, is to give that hope to somebody else.
Kathy, thank you for that story. And I think that's the thing. Like 6 years is a long time to wait, a long time to go through something. And what you know, and I know everyone here knows, because if I go and ask everyone to give their story of hope, is that in the time that we're going right now that seems so hopeless, is what you hold on to is your story, is how you got through something else that happened, and how you were resilient in that way, I'm sure helps you now. It might be different, more severe, less severe, different situation. Maybe it's not physical, maybe it's mental, whatever that is. I do believe that our testimony, I guess, what we have overcome, help us in times like this. And so that might be something that we all have to recall in our gratefulness, in our thankfulness. Maybe also recall some of those times that we had to triumph over something and say, how did that happen? Did I do it? Was there a higher force? Did I make it work? Did I pay the way through? Who were the people around me that helped me through that situation? And maybe key into that same thing in times like this. So Kathy, thank you for that. I think about the word encourage, and I think about step in to courage, encourage, step in to courage. And one thing I would just say for all of us, we have a few minutes left or whatever, is that just this show is just a reminder to be different. If somebody's negative and overwhelmed with grief and negativity and uncertainty, maybe take an opportunity. I'm not saying to be fake or force it or to, but maybe not co-sign the whole hour or co-sign the whole moment. Maybe take that opportunity as a seed to say, hey, brother, hey, friend, yeah, it's pretty bad, but this, and maybe you're not there today. Maybe that's why you're tuning into the show. I don't know. I'm just here to encourage you that it's there. It's there, and you're not alone in your feelings of defeat. and in just challenging times. So right now, I have a giveaway. I became an author 2 years ago, something else I thought I would never do. And I like to give somebody this book of encouragement to put on your table when you just need to flip through it. Some of you have it. And if I go to the section on faith, I have a quote here that says, "Don't waste your energy on worry. Use your energy to believe." So this is just something that I was given. God was like, write a book. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, it's easy. Just write every day. And at the end of the year, you'll have a book. And I do. So we're going to spin the wheel and see who will get this book. I'll send it to you. Let's see, producer lady.
It's hard to do it way in this corner.
Can you do it? Your computer's down? Yeah. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we're going to spin the wheel. I don't know if they can see it.
I can see it.
Okay, go ahead, babe. Thomasina! Thomasina Abate, my good friend. I don't know if you have it. If you
Well,
have it, give it to someone else.
I have it.
I'm going to send it to you.
I do.
I'm sending
Or
it.
you can spin it again.
Okay.
No, I'm going to
Okay.
I'm going to send it to you.
I'll gladly give it as a gift because I bought one.
Love you. So I'm going to send it to you at the end. Just, I need your address. I'm going to send it to you. We have another
Okay.
sponsor, the sponsor of the Hope Show, this cool t-shirt, Hope Dealer. One of you lucky audience studio virtual Zoom members will get this shirt. We're going to spin again and see. And at the end of the program, you just send me your address and we will get it to you.
Let's remove
Let's remove
Thomasina.
Thomasina.
Sorry, Thomasina.
Or they can swap. She can get the shirt and let's see. Demia. Is that how you say it? Demia? Awesome. So you could be a Hope Dealer too, Demia. And that was sponsored by my good friends Rod and Jeannie, who are actually on the call. Thank you, Rod and Jeannie. We'll get your information, Demia, and we'll send you your size and your shirt, and you can be a Hope Dealer too. That's just a little bit of fun. It's really cool to receive. You know, they always say it's blessed to give than to receive. I really, really believe that. I think there's something that happens when you give, and it doesn't have to be tangible. It doesn't have to be monetary. It just can be a word of encouragement. When you see Thomasina light up or you see Demia light up to receive something, there's something that happens. So I hope you guys will continue that. Let's continue the conversation. We've got a few more minutes. I'd like to ask you, thank you, Kathy, for that story. If you want to individually, anybody out there, share your go-to, like when you feel hopeless, what do you do? Will you share that with the audience? Just unmute yourself, raise your hand or whatever. What is your secret? What do you do? There's no judgment on how you get there. Could you share with us some things that you do to get to a better, hopeful space? Anybody?
I'll share, Terron.
Thank you,
It's
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi everyone. I'm here in LA. I hope you'll
Getting
post where
married.
we can get
Getting
those
married.
shirts.
What'd you say?
Yes. I said, I hope you'll post where we could get those shirts too.
I will. I feel like Kelly Clarkson, like her first season, she said she didn't have enough money. I really should be saying you get one like Oprah, but we, you know.
Yeah.
You know, just no budget. Second show.
I'm happy to. So good.
Good to see you, fiance.
Almost. Yeah. We're almost there.
What do you do?
But I was going to say, you really inspired me about hope and how do I get hopeful? And you kind of mentioned it in one of your comments, but I think my first step is acceptance of where I am in the moment, acceptance that, what, may don't feel that great today. And I don't have to pretend that everything's positive. I have to be like, it's gonna be great though. Be like, you know what? I feel sad today, or I feel angry today, and not make myself feel ashamed about that. And I've always felt like the more I accept, then I can go, okay, well, what can I do? And what do I want to do? I know I'm sad, but what do I want? I know I'm angry, but what's my next step? You know, so that's been my go-to acceptance this pandemic. And I'm so grateful for you and for being here with all of you.
Thank you. I love that. I have a hard time with that. I don't know about you guys. Accepting. This is it. Michelle Obama said that last night in her speech. This is it. This is what it is, you know? And what are we going to do about it? Accept it. And I think that is a great step to hope, because when you got your blinders on and when you're hiding from it, it takes you a long time to even step out to the reality that something's going on. So I like that. Anybody else? A go-to your hope? How do you regain hope when you lose it? What are the steps you take to get it?
Hey, Terron?
Yeah.
I'd like to go, if you don't mind.
Oh, please.
So listen, I was listening to, what was the last lady's name that was on here just ago?
Bonnie.
Beautiful. I wanted to, Bonnie, I wanted to piggyback off of her acceptance. What's funny is that I've learned that God has a sense of humor. And so for years, I'm 52 now, I'm 52 years old. And for years in my 20s and my 30s, I wanted to be a recording artist. Mm-hmm. So I spent many years trying to go after, this recording, and nothing would ever come out right. And I wanted to use my voice, and I'd be like, God, I want to use this voice that you gave me, this awesome voice, yada, yada, yada. And it just never happened for me. And then someone said, you should try to do podcasting like Shantae. Mm-hmm. And now I do a podcast and I use my voice in a different way. And it's so funny. So I just say, God, you have a sense of humor. I've been all these years, I've been saying, I want to use my voice, but it turned out to be for something different. Mm-hmm. And it also turned out to be something that I had to learn to accept, that this is now my calling. And when people send me emails and phone calls and things like that, saying that I have blessed them in some way with my motivational podcast and things in a way, I know that this is not my purpose. So that is acceptance. So I just wanted to piggyback off of her.
I love that, Demir. I love that. Thank you for seconding that emotion. Acceptance. Acceptance is a key to hope. Anybody else? Secrets?
Oh, I'd like to add, I think what
Carla, is that you?
kind of is, yeah, Carla.
Where are you from?
I am from Cleveland, Ohio.
Hi, Cleveland. Go ahead.
I think my go-to is music. It has been since I was a little girl. Music just really speaks to me in just amazing ways, and it has been my go-to all my life, and especially now where, we have so many things that are coming at us that are, could be negative. I think that music kind of helps me to get through and to think about, and depending on what, what the content is of the song. A lot of times lately I've been listening to a lot of gospel and Christian music, and it's just been really inspiring to me, and it's helped me to kind of stay in his peace during this time. I won't say that I haven't worried about COVID, but I haven't been hysterical about it. And I think that, the songs that I listen to and just really trying to focus on him has really helped a lot. So I would say that my go-to has probably been music.
That's beautiful. We have some amazing artists here on our little virtual studio audience. Thomasina Abate, Bonnie is a great singer. Jeannie she's a worship pastor of her church. So I think music is a great equalizer. It doesn't care what color you are, how old you are, nothing. It kind of can transport you because what we really want to do, guys, is just kind of tell the truth. Our minds can spin and see how bad the election will turn out. We can think about how bad COVID, how many more people will lose their life. We can think about losing all of our pensions and all of our house, and we're not going to have a job, and our kids. We can obsess about what's not even on the paper. and I just want us to bring something to hope for the best, because what if that happens? Sure. But what if it doesn't? How would you spend your time this hour when you turn off this, spending your time to obsess about something that you don't even have control over is very, it's on a path of destruction. So I just want to encourage us. There are legitimate worries and problems that we actually think about and we can pray about and just hope that things will work out, and use hope as an action word to propel us to do something about the things that we can. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that is not in our control and it's not worth any of your time, exhaustion, brain power, energy, having anxiety over those things that you cannot control. So that making hope just focus, like Bonnie and like Demia said, on what you can accept about what's really happening, as opposed to accepting everything in the world that you can think of. That's really negative, and that's not going to help be healthy for any of us. So in the last few seconds, you got a question? You got a comment, Rod?
No, I was going to comment. Yeah.
Please.
So one of the things that we haven't talked about in this group, because there's lots of stuff going on, but we can focus on more than one thing at a time. But obviously with the race relations and things that are going on right now, there's confusion and upheaval and things. And yesterday I had a one-on-one meeting with my direct manager, and we had scheduled for a half an hour. So we talked about some business stuff. But after we got done with what I thought was kind of the end of that, we just had a conversation about race relations. And, he's Caucasian and I'm not, if you hadn't noticed. And so we just talked and he listened, and it was totally unsolicited. It wasn't something that I brought up. It was, he wanted to find out, about my experience. And so it gave me hope about in that there are people out there you may think care, or that you think, we're on the opposite sides of this spectrum, and so there's not going to be any coming together no matter what happens. But and in that conversation, he's relatively new that I report to him. I found out he's a believer also. So it was a really, really good experience for me to know that, okay, there are people out there that, you don't know what's going on with them, but we have much more in common in many ways than differences that we might be on display all the time just by looking at our faces. So it was really encouraging to me to have that conversation with him, knowing that I was being heard, could hear from him, and we just had this talk, and it was really it made it a great day yesterday. So
yeah,
that's what I wanted to say. Thanks.
I appreciate that. I think that is encouraging to have conversations with people you don't know, people you're getting to know, people like us. A lot of us had just met today, and to hear different perspectives. And that might give you hope, because when you're in your own silos of what's going on, you kind of don't know. You're not relating to other people, and realizing that each and every one of us has a soul, and we have a spirit, and we have a heart. We all have hopes and dreams, no matter your background, what you believe in. And to know that, like you said, Rod, there is more that brings us together than divides us. I hope we get that as a country. I have who I want to win the presidency. I have my political views. But more importantly, it's not based on my hope on this man or this woman or this committee to bring hope to me, to save me. I'm hoping that collectively in America, in conversations like we're having right now, we can just change and grow as people. And that can come from the government, and that can come from presidency, but it also has to come individually. So calls like this, moments like this give me a lot of hope. I hope it does for you. And I hope you believe that it matters, because sometimes you don't feel like it does. It's so big and it feels like you're just a small little dot in a big puzzle. But without your piece, the puzzle can't be completed. So you got to do what you guys got to do. You guys continue to give hope to other people and make your piece matter, because you do matter. So that's basically what the show was about. I want to end it with just how I start my day. In the morning, I start with my gratitude, and then I end with my expectation, because hope expects. You can't have hope and not really expect anything. So after I write down my gratitude, I end with my expectation. I expect to go to Japan next year. I expect, I want to book another film. I expect that this will be an inspiring night tonight. I expect, because that also, that action of writing it down or saying it is something that makes hope come alive. So if anybody who did not get to speak or would like to speak, does anybody have something that you're expecting? And the bigger, the better. The more impossible, the better. Anybody want to share anything? We're going to log off in a second, but that you're just expecting in the future. Perfect. It's fine. But that is a good, someone.
Oh, I was just saying, I am expecting a new house. I don't know when or where, but I'm expecting it.
A new house. So I encourage you to expect it with, you write it down and expect it with your actions. However you want to plan for you to get that house, even though you don't see it and you don't know when, make yourself become an action to hope to getting that house. Whatever that's your decisions, how you speak, I'm going to get that house, how are you preparing for it, plan for that house. And that's going to make hope come alive for you, Carla. That's awesome. I pray that you guys all get everything that you expect. I pray that you expect bigger and higher and better and stronger. And I pray that this small hour gave you a little bit of breath into some hope. And I also pray that you'll be able to share that with someone else if you can. So thank you so much for being here, Christopher. Christopher and I did a play called Pill Hill. He was my co-star. I leaned on him every single night. He's an extraordinary actor. Thank you, Shantae. Thank you, Bonnie, so much. Kathy, thank you for your story. Thank you, Demia. Thank you, Carla. Heather, thank you, Heather and Robert. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Rodney and Jenny, for being here. Make time to show hope. Carve a little time in the day to show hope to somebody else. Thank you for being here. We'll be back in September. You can tell people about it if you enjoyed this experience. And I'm going to post the link tomorrow for people to see it outside of our little intimate group. So thank you so much. I'm going to leave you with a song that I sang called You'll Never Walk Alone. It's from the musical Carousel. And if you want to stick around, you can hear the song You'll Never Walk Alone. I hope you didn't feel that way today, that you felt a little bit of a kindredness with this group. So see you guys soon. Thank you. Your head